Good evening, viewers, and welcome to this edition of NTV Sports Page. It's Friday, the 2nd of June, and I'm Curtis Morton. In our headlines, Stuart Williams, one of several Windies assistant coaches, and in our feature for this evening, Shane Jeffers, the ultimate star. We'll take this break, and I'll be right back.
Between cats and dogs. What is this place?
Well, I'm back and we start with cricket. Cricket West Indies has announced the members of the coaching and support staff for the West Indies men's red ball and white ball teams. Former West Indies captains Carl Hooper and Floyd Reefer have been named as assistant coaches in the white ball teams to work alongside new head coach Darren Sammy. James Franklin, the former New Zealand all-rounder, is the third assistant coach. They have joined the team ahead of the start of the upcoming three-match one-day international series against the United Arab Emirates or UAE. For the test team, former West Indies players Kenny Benjamin and Stuart Williams, as well as Ryan Griffith, will be the assistant coaches working alongside head coach Andre Coley. West Indies men white ball team management unit, Darren Sammy, head coach, Carl Hooper, assistant coach, Floyd Reefer, assistant coach, James Franklin, assistant coach, Royal Lewis team manager, Dennis Byam, the physiotherapist, Ronald Rogers, strength and conditioning coach, Avinash Sitaram, the analyst, and Dario Bathley, the media and content officer. West Indies men test team management unit, Andre Coley, head coach, Kenny Benjamin, assistant coach, Ryan Griffith, assistant coach, Stuart Williams, assistant coach, Royal Lewis team manager, Dennis Byam, physiotherapist, Ronald Rogers, strength and conditioning coach, and Avinash Sitaram, the analyst. We'll take this break and I'll be back with our feature for this evening.
As a responsible taxpayer, you help to finance free healthcare at all health centers on Nevis. Thank you for putting country above self. This message was brought to you by the Inland Revenue Department, Nevis. Be a responsible citizen.
Well, I'm back and tonight's cricket is in the spotlight. Shane Jeffers of St. Kitts was the ultimate star of the recently concluded Leewards Masters cricket tournament. The former St. Kitts national player and Leewards opening batsman led his team to victory and to their first hold of the Grand Trophy, which identifies the champions of Masters cricket in the Leewards. Let's go to the closing ceremony.
Coming out to support this major event. We are now here at the closing ceremony, and I would like to thank all the teams that participated in this tournament throughout the entire weekend, starting with St. Martin, Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda. Should I say Barbuda too? St. Kitts and Nevis. We all know that this tournament is a very prestigious tournament and a very competitive tournament. So we were expecting exactly what we saw over the past 3 days. I know everybody came here to win, but everybody cannot win. The better or the best team won on that occasion. So, without congratulating any one team, I would like us to put our hands for all the teams in the tournament. Let us congratulate everybody, whether you win or you lose. So congratulations to everybody. Now, we had a lot of work done during this tournament in order to bring it to some fruition. My executive worked assiduously throughout the course of this tournament and even before in order to get us where we are now. So first of all, I would like to thank my executive, especially the hardest to working one, Mr. Rollins. I must give you a personal commendation and Mr. Ganish. And thank Mr. Smith for coming on the executive at late. Thanks to it's Mrs. or Miss Rose, for her hard work. From beginning to end, she has always been around with us. I don't know if we could raise enough funds without Miss Rose. She has been working very hard. And I would like you all to give her a round of applause for her hard work. Okay, this tournament had to come off because it has been 3 years we were out there because of COVID planning this tournament, and we were not very successful over the past 3 years. But this year we had some success, and I'm happy for that. If you notice, the tournament took a different sort of arrangement in that we had to play round robin. And this is the first time that we actually played the round robin. It gave everybody a better chance to win, because over the years we used to say 3 teams in one zone and 4 in one zone, and people would say that they did not get to play each other. So this was, to me, the fairest of them all. So I love this one. Now, without certain people, we would not have been here today. And I would like to thank all of those sponsors who actually came on board at a time when we were really, really struggling for funds, and put their hands in their pockets and gave us some sort of donation or contribution in order to get the tournament on its foot. So I would like to thank Social Security for all of the donations that they have been giving us, not just this year but over the years. Dollar Stretcher, very reliable over the years. We have Xerox Office and printers. They have also been doing well for us over the years. Island Purified Water, Christopher Curry of Curry's Wholesale, SKN Solution, Ministry of Sports, and I must categorically mention Mr. Jeffrey Hazel, the Director of Sports, who really went above and beyond, giving us everything that he had to in order to make this event possible. Even the lights. I called him today and I said, Mr. Hazel, we're going to be at Warner Park and we're going to need some light. He said, Pacer, that has already been covered. Just go down there and the lights will come on. And even when the sun was out, the light was already on. So I want to give him a special... Right, Mr. Hazel. I'm sorry you're not here to actually get your kudos. We want to thank Her Excellency Dame Marcella Liebert for hosting us at Government House for the ceremony. Let us give her a round of applause for hosting it. It's not a place that we get to go very often. So it was a pleasure being at that venue for the ceremony. We want to also thank all the scorers, those people who came together and made everything a success with reference to the books. And we want to also thank the caterers, those who provided food for us, because we can't play without the gasoline, so we had to get some food. Our umpires, all those who officiated in the games here throughout the tournament, and the groundsman in particular, especially those at the Molineux venue. They worked very hard. During the rain, they were able to cover the grounds and making sure that we didn't have any major interruption and that things will go on smoothly. So we want to thank everybody. And I'm surprised because, yes, I did mention the scorers. I noticed we have a bumper crowd here, even bigger than the crowd over there at the football stadium. And I'm happy for that because somebody even said a while ago, we have a bigger crowd than what they had for the West Indies Women's Cricket Tournament. And that, I hope that is telling us that everybody here is interested in cricket, especially with old guys like me and so on. And that next year or the next time we are hosting it, With this sort of publicity and advertisement, we are expecting more people to be around when we have the tournament in the following years. I don't know if me and Mr. Rollins might be here. Mr. Rollins is telling me something about resignation. I know he's joking because he can't do it without cricket. So, on behalf of the St. Kitts Cricket Masters, behalf of the executive, and all the teams that participated in all the practice matches around the island, you guys, I would like to big up all of you because you all worked hard this year and you all actually showed the reason why you all practice. Antigua, you were not coming here this time to walk away with anything, you know. We gave you the trophy, you had it up there for 3 years because of COVID. Well, it's time for us to take it back. So I'm sorry, you will be going up without it, I'm sorry. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you all for participating. And may God bless you all. See you all in the next, the Anguilla would be the next place or venue for the tournament. We are hoping that we could get a lot of you to travel with the team because we need your support when we travel. Thank you all for coming out and may God bless each and every one of you.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you for that overview. We'll go right into the trophies. And we had a lot of runs, persons making a lot of runs. 98, 71, 92, 103, 58. And then there's one person, 203. 203, that's the biggest number. So, Mr. President, don't go anywhere. So we have a trophy for the best batsman, and that goes to no other than Mr. Shane Jeffers with 203 runs. Mr. Gishad is around. Noel Gishad. Yes, Noel, can you come, please? The next prize goes to the best bowler, and we had persons taking 4, 5, 6, 7, but only one person reached 8. And we call other than Mr. Murray. Mr. Murray for the best bowler. Mr. Gishad will present the trophy. Thank you, Mr. Gishad. I know Mr. Gishad had double wickets and runs. He was one of the first persons to have double in the Liverpool Lions competition. So I want to thank Mr. Gishad. The final for the MVP. The last match between Antigua and St. Kitts. And the finals for the MVP, we have a lot of names came up, but the person who was doing the adjudication came up with no other than Mr. Jatin Patel. And the finals. Thank you, Mr. President, and don't go anywhere. We go to the MVP for the tournament. And to me, it was very easy. And with one person making 203 runs and taking 3 wickets. And the MVP for the tournament is no other than Mr. Shane Jeffers. Okay, we go to the second place, and we call the manager for the Antigua Masters to come and collect his trophy and his medals for second place. No, wait, no, that's separate, that's separate. Presa. Yeah. All right, thank you, Captain. How much you got? You want to call the thing one by one? How much you got? 6, 9, 12, 15. Okay, as we move along, we want to call the St. Kitts team, and I want to call Mrs. Brown, our executive member, to give the medals to the players. So players, as you come one by one, Ms. Brown will give you your medal. Shane, Kevin, Horse. Want to thank the General Secretary of the St. Kitts Cricket Masters for giving out the medals. Our hard-working secretary that keep us in order and make sure that we follow all the procedures when it comes to meeting, and we want to thank her. I'd like to call the treasurer of the Leeward Islands Cricket Masters, Ms. Diane Nisbet, and we'll present some prizes to the teams. Second place, Antigua. Antigua. A monetary prize. A monetary prize for the second place. Okay, thanks, Antigua. I want to call the winner. I'm the captain of the Sinkage team to come for the monetary prize, Mr. Shane Jeffers. All right, I want to thank the treasurer of the Leeward Islands Cricket Association, and thanks for her time. And the treasurer is based in St. Martin, and we want to thank the treasurer. All right, and there are two other trophies here. There are two other trophies here. There's a rotation trophy. St. Kitts is never been placed on it, and it's a good sign that they have improved and they have come forward and played some good cricket. So for the first place, a trophy, and the president of the St. Kitts Cricket Master will present on the first place. Shane Jeffers, can you please come forward, please? And the rotation trophy, the trophy that every island want to hold for at least 1 year. I can tell you in 2010 it was Anguilla, 2011 it was Antigua, 2012 was Antigua, 2013 was Nevis, 2014 was Nevis, 2015 was Nevis, 2016 was St. Croix, 2017 was St. Thomas, 2018 was Nevis, and 2019 was Antigua. And in 2023 is St. Kitts. St. Kitts, ask the ambassador to come to present that trophy. Yeah? Okay, St. Kitts, thanks a million. In the meantime, that St. Kitts is taking some lovely pictures. The St. Kitts Cricket Masters would like to thank the Young Guns Cricket Club for engaging in 5 practice games leading up to this tournament. And the St. Kitts Cricket Masters would like to say thank to Young Guns for assisting in the preparation of the St. Kitts Cricket Masters. Okay, St. Kitts, thanks a lot.
Well, that's our package for this evening and indeed for the week. I am Curtis Morton, reminding you that you can watch sports if you're not fit. But to play sports requires fitness, diligence, and sacrifice. Have a good night and a great weekend.